25,000 research publications, 3,000 ongoing research projects, over 850 patents filed, and 1,260 management case studies covering domains like strategy, marketing, economics, finance, and others, brought across 68 countries. Amity University has been accredited by the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAC, with A grade, and wherever recognitions are required by statutory bodies or mandatory like Bar Council of India, IET for engineering programs, and architectural programs accredited by the Council of Architecture, we have achieved the standards to achieve it. As part of our focus on academic excellence, we recognize merit in our prospective students with a range of scholarships that we offer both in academics and sporting abilities. Apart from this, we respect girls and offer a 10% scholarship to all girl students who take admission with us, along with the means scholarship offered to those with financial constraints. We wish to encourage as many Emirati students to come and study with us, and as a mark of gratitude to this wonderful country, therefore we offer scholarships to all Emirati students ranging from 50 to 100%. Our alumni are an important cohort for all of us, and we maintain a strong connect with them and offer a scholarship of 20% whenever they enroll with us for higher courses. With an objective to enable a wide range of students to avail our scholarships, we are conducting a scholarship test for the School of Engineering and Technology and the School of Science on the 30th of March 2018, which will give an opportunity to all appearing students to earn scholarships ranging from 10 to 50% in all our engineering programs. I would like to request all of you to kindly fill the registration forms if you are eligible for this test, and please appear for the test on 30th of March so that you can avail of scholarships up to 50%. We have at Amity University various schools of studies, like the Amity School of Engineering and Technology, which offers the widest range of courses in many niche areas of specialization, such as aerospace engineering and solar and alternate energy. Forensic Sciences is also one of our top-selling programs in Amity School of Science, which has captured the imagination of the young mind along with a BTech in nanotechnology. Apart from this, we have a very strong connect with the industry, and many recruiters, apart from all the physical and academic facilities that we offer to the students, we also support them with their smooth transition into the workplace. The Corporate Resource Center at Amity University Dubai has created a strong network with the industry and organizes full-time placements, internships, guest lectures, and industry visits for all our students. You can see some of the recruiter logos, companies who have visited to, the campus for recruitment, yeah? These are some more of the companies which have recruited from our students and regularly visit the campus. Mr. David Provenzani is the co-founder of Arch Italy Green Design, spearheading the development of 300 green design and green energy projects. A passionate campaigner to create awareness towards the use of green and solar energy, Mr. David has launched several green initiatives in Dubai, like the Dubai Solar ORG and the Dubai Solar Schools program. He regularly advises the government on the implementation of renewable energy programs as an advisory board member of the Intersolar Middle East. Mr. Provenzani is highly regarded for his commitment, resoluteness, humility, and professional approach. I would now like to request Mr. David Provenzani, Honorary Professor at Amity School of Architecture and Planning, to kindly share his knowledge on the green careers. Thank you.
David Provenzano, you put in the... If you have a problem. You put in the... David Provenzano. David Provenzano, David.
Name?
David. D-A-V-I-D. Okay, this one.
It is in desktop.
Okay, put in presentation mode. Okay. Very good morning. We are very, very happy to have you here this morning. It's a really special day for us. From Amity University, the most welcome. And the scope of this day, it's just to let you help your brain to understand which incredible age we are living today. We are really at the start of a new age, and you will be the protagonist of the next world. Maybe you still are not realizing what is happening around us, because we are just at the beginning. So this morning, we would like to bring you into a journey to understand how the next 5, 10, 20 years will be completely changing the approach of our daily life, study, work, and even free time. This all happens because the technology is running so fast that we cannot even imagine within the next 20 years what will happen. And you are almost, I would say, gifted to live this age. When I was a boy like you, the education was always the same. We didn't have internet. We didn't have access, free access to knowledge. Today, it's becoming even difficult for teachers to manage such a big amount of data that you can access freely, just Google, no? So where is the point? You need to be very critical. You need to be very selective, because in so many information that you can get from everywhere, of course you have to catch the good. So this morning I prepared a presentation that will bring you in a picture of what will happen within the year 2040. And I would just start without many talks to give you concepts on what will happen very soon in our life. Use a car, and all these concepts that are part of our life. So I would suggest lights completely down, please, like cinema. And we start the presentation. Lights down, please. Audio, maybe. Thank you.
But I think we need to improve on the headings. How about this?
That looks good. Let's try to put them together. How about making this part blue?
Looks perfect. Now let's begin our editorial meeting to discuss the special issue, ICT, Changing Society and the Way We Live. Could you start the preparations for the meeting now?
Sure, let me handle it.
The meeting is about to start in a few minutes.
It was such a beautiful morning, I lost track of the time.
It's been a while since we had a sunny day like this.
Thank you.
You have a video message from Dr. Johansson of Nokka Clinic.
What could it be? Could you play it for me?
Sure.
Mr. Räikkönen, I need your permission to disclose the data that you sent the other day so you can be checked at the General Hospital.
No problem. That's done now. I have to be in the meeting.
Okay.
You look great, Räikkönen. It seems you've perfectly recovered from your illness.
Well, I monitor my health through bio and wearable sensors that send my health data to my doctor. Everything is under control. I'll tell you more about it later.
In the aftermath of the powerful cyclone that hit Mumbai, India, after
サラ、大丈夫かしら。あ、もうこんな時間。お待たせしました。
Sorry to have kept you waiting.
すいません。
Don't worry, I just came in myself.
サラ。
So Sarah is not here yet, is she?
I'm afraid so.
Sarah!
Sorry for being late.
Are you okay, Sarah?
Yes, boss. Actually, I want to go visit and gather data on how this ICT network could contribute to the educational environment, especially during times of disaster. So, please allow me to go and give my report first.
All right.
I was right in the middle of gathering data for my topic, education and ICT network, when the cyclone struck. The city suffered severe damage from the cyclone. But although there's no electricity and gas, the communication networks have almost remained undisrupted.
Wow!
Since agencies have a clear grasp of the extent of the damage, rescue operations appear to be going smoothly. And since the shift to the clouds are at a very advanced stage, companies and schools have already started their operations in new locations. And that is why I will be going there to cover the districts where they will be making use of the cloud to start off their classes at home.
All right.
See you later then.
Take care.
You're next, Hikaru. You'll be talking about cities in the ICT network, right?
Yes. For my report, I covered the Musashino Smart City, which is now the most widely talked about smart city in Japan. The city maximizes the use of wind, light, heat, and other elements of nature while minimizing the adverse effects to the environment. It makes use of sensor networks to offer a comfortable life for its residents. When the sunlight becomes too strong, the window glass, which is made up of transparent solar cells, automatically adjusts the amount of light coming into the room. And depending on the movement of people and the condition of the room, it controls the lighting in the room.
That's great. So what's the role of the network in the smart city?
The network sends information from a vast amount of sensors placed all over the city to the data center via the light network and analyzes them instantly. For example, excess energy generated from solar power cells in some areas is diverted to areas with insufficient energy. The network connects the residents to the entire city, making wise use of the resources of the city as a whole while preserving the environment.
So no energy is wasted and people are assured of a comfortable life.
That's right.
Okay, Raikkonen, you're up next.
Yes, let me start my talk on healthcare and the ICT network. First, take a look at this. It's embedded with the latest bio-nano sensor.
It measures body temperature and blood pressure?
Not only that, but also your blood sugar level. It also assesses your health condition too. It immediately analyzes the gathered data and then prepares the supplement you need for the day based on your health condition.
Amazing!
It's light and easy to use. It's becoming popular with the elderly and with young people like me.
Young? I'm not so sure about that.
Raikkonen, regarding your trip to Kenya next week.
Of course I'll go. Wherever I am, just this, and I can receive proper medical attention, like having my doctor check me up. And since it uses state-of-the-art quantum encryption technology, security is not a problem.
What an advanced age we are in.
So what do you think about Helsinki's healthcare system? Great, isn't it?
Boss,
Sarah, how's the situation there?
the schools were damaged. So, the children attending these schools were connected from their houses via the cloud to the schools that did not suffer damage and have already resumed their classes this morning. This is a video I took of a student having lessons from home. The kids are doing great and having fun continuing their lessons via the cloud.
That's good to hear.
Great job, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks to you all. Our next feature edition promises to be a worthwhile read. So our next meeting, which will be our final meeting, will be on Friday, the 22nd of...
So, what we learn from this movie? We can leave lights down because we have other movies. First thing that will change our life, who knows what is IoT, Internet of Things? Who? Okay, Internet of Things will connect everything and through a cloud connection. So you will see within the next 6-7 years exactly what happened in the movie. Everything will be connected, objects and even bodies. It will become a big revolution which will completely change the way to connect. In fact, very soon we will have the 5G mobile connection which will run thousands of times faster. We will have a lot of data over the net. We need fast connection, fast communication, because the quantity of data will become so huge that the current net is not able to provide. So all this technology that you have seen in the movie is already real. It just has to be improved and reach all the users and the consumers, because of course every new thing needs a bit of time and to become even financially viable. Let's enter in more details about this IoT, because IoT will really start to change our life, and it's already a reality. So now you start to understand why the data transfer will be fundamental to improve all technologies that with a huge data connection can really run well and fast, and of course cheap, because we need to imagine sooner or later that everyone can have a connection, because you don't just have to put Facebook or an email, but you see that all your devices in your normal life will be connected. So coming back to the first movie, have you seen, write down all my presentation please. Basically you have seen another important technology that seems so advanced, but in reality we have already, which is the holograms. Holograms will impact our life even whenever we study or work. And this is a real example that is happening today, as a big multinational company, as many others, are starting to use holograms for their specialized workers to perform better, and you will see how. This is ThyssenKrupp is one of the biggest multinational companies in elevators. It's a German multinational company. You will see now how they work.
ThyssenKrupp's mission is to drive the elevator industry now. We want to do better and want to really push the envelope for what we are doing.
We need to enable our people to use the latest technology possible and available, and HoloLens is such a device where we see potential to serve our customers better.
The introduction of HoloLens to our operations will empower the over 20,000 field service engineers in doing the job better, more efficient. Increasing availability of elevators and escalators makes the job more safe and more fun for our people as well.
The scenario we have developed is really about dispatching a service technician using HoloLens in very different kind of ways.
So as soon as the technician puts on his HoloLens, he already sees, I have a call here, I need to go to this elevator, and then actually sees a 3D picture of the elevator that he's going to work on, and that he can zoom into a part that will offer you also training opportunities.
He goes to the job site prepared, probably better prepared than ever before, because he has the relevant data available to him in the best format possible, and in a variety of ways he can tailor the data towards his need.
The technician putting on his HoloLens, looking at the elevator, sees the historical notes first, so what has actually happened with this elevator before. He already has all the information right there without having to look for it. It saves a lot of time and a lot of stress and effort.
Gets information on his virtual desktop about the task orders he has to carry out.
The latest safety alerts for that elevator.
He pulls on a 3D replication of that part, pulls it out in an exploded view, and can actually see which part is making the problem.
A major advantage of the HoloLens, of course, is that we are hands-free, and we never had that experience and the capability before.
In the past, the technician needed both of his hands to operate the laptop, and now he just has his HoloLens on.
One of the most important capabilities we see with HoloLens is that we can trigger a remote call to a subject matter expert.
Call Heather.
Hey Jeff, how you doing?
I'm replacing a door board out here, but I kind of want you to check a couple things out.
Okay, let me take a look. Your JP3 is in the right position, and your motor leads are disconnected, so you're good to go.
It takes a lot of stress out, it saves a lot of time, and our field tests have shown that there's a huge potential to increase productivity with that. A job which normally takes 1 to 2 hours and maybe ends up with having the expert traveling to the site, we were able to carry it out on the first time in less than 20 minutes. And what we are striving to do at ThyssenKrupp Elevator is really creating new, interesting technologies to build the city of tomorrow.
See, and as you have seen now, there are already companies that are using this technology, which is basically hologram. Where is maybe today the problem? That still you have seen these big lenses that are quite heavy, but of course we are confident that within the next 6, 7, 8, 10 years, maybe this big lens will become just very small and wearable from anyone at any time. This means that your reality will be mixed with the virtual reality of holograms when we are performing professional works or even studying, having real access to knowledge which is in the net. And coming back again to the first movie, not only you have seen holograms that now you know today that are almost reality, you have also seen another quite funny concept where people appears in a virtual meeting room. And as that movie was supposing in 2025, within the next 7-8 years, we can suppose that this teleportation of your image in another virtual room will be possible. Why? Because it's already possible today, and Microsoft established a research lab, what they say, holoportation.
Hi, today we're going to show you an exciting new technology that could fundamentally change the way that people will communicate in the future. Imagine being able to virtually teleport from one space to another in real time. Hey, Sergio. How does it feel like to be holoported?
It feels great to be holoported.
So if Sergio is to wear his HoloLens device, and I'm going to wear mine, we can see each other in full 3D in real time. We can interact and communicate as if we're co-present. Sergio, can you walk around my space? Can you walk behind this chair? So we're doing everything to give the impression that Sergio and I are present in the same space. Sergio, let's just do a high five. That's great. Thank you, Sergio. We call this technology holoportation. Now, to make all this happen, we've had to create a new type of 3D capture technology. I'm surrounded by these 3D cameras that we've developed in our team. Each of them is capturing me from a separate viewpoint, and we're fusing this data together to create a temporally consistent model, as you can see reconstructed live behind me. Now, the camera that's filming me has a HoloLens tracking system attached, and this allows us to take these 3D models and composite them in real time into the real world, as you can see here. And that gives you a sense of the fidelity of the reconstructions that we can achieve. Once we have these reconstructions, we can texture them. We can then compress the data and transmit the data over to the other side. Over on the other side, a user wearing a HoloLens can see these remote participants live in their space as if they're co-present. And that's what we're showing you picture in picture. Now imagine using this type of capture technology to connect with family members who are thousands of miles away. And that's exactly what we're going to demonstrate to you right now. My daughter is stood in a similar capture rig somewhere else in our lab. And she's going to holoport into my space, and I'm going to interact with her wearing my HoloLens.
Hi, Bob, I miss you.
Hey, Lilia, I miss you too.
When are you coming home?
I'm coming home very soon. Let me get out of your way. Hey, Lilia, you can only hear me, you can't see me, but what are these toys?
I have toys to show you. This one is named as Elmo.
Elmo?
And he can sing.
He can sing, wow. And what about the other one?
The other one is called Tina, and I like it because it has different stuff.
Well, that's so cool. So Lilia, can you climb up on this chair that's behind you? Yeah, climb up. Be very careful. Now I'm going to count to 3 and I want you to jump. 1, 2, 3, jump! That was so cool. Oh, let me get out of your way again.
I like you so much.
I love you too.
Come home soon.
I'll be home very soon. Bye-bye. Now, in that example, we were demonstrating live 3D capture, but our system is capable of another thing. We can actually record and play back that entire session. Now, this is almost like reversing through time. And if I wear my HoloLens device, it's almost like walking into a living memory that I can see through another pair of eyes from all these different perspectives. And because this is 3D content, we can miniaturize it onto this coffee table and experience it in a more convenient manner. And this becomes a magical way of experiencing these live captured memories. Now imagine being able to teleport to any place with anyone at any time. And that's what holoportation is all about. Thank you for watching.
link. You will take note of this link. I would love you to check the website. Okay, so have you seen Microsoft is investing billions in this technology? Can you imagine your next social networks? You can holoport yourself in a virtual room and chat with people in real time. This will have a big implication. Let's, for example, imagine, do we have a sense still to have offices after 10, 20 years from now, if we can holoport ourselves in a virtual room and have our meetings? Most probably I can even imagine a big impact in the real estate about offices and all working places where just is today matter to meet people. And let's open now another very exciting topic, which is artificial intelligence. Why now? Because artificial intelligence, of course, can only run if, again, we have a huge amount of capacity to transfer data. So, as you have seen, technology today is not only one field. It's an exponential effect where every field boosts other fields. And that's why we are living an age where all things are running so fast, because there is an exponential effect. Artificial intelligence also will be an impact for our next couple of decades, which means your working age, where you finish your university, you will start to work, you will have to face which can be a change like robots and artificial intelligence. Now there are many analysts that say that 50% of jobs will be lost and will be done by robots. Of course can be true. Where is the point? You have to learn today how to structure your career in a way to be unique, to be human, to avoid that machines will steal your job. And just quickly, I will show you now which is the state of the art of the artificial intelligence, which of course have different grades. The grade 1, it's of course well known, is mostly automation, where we say narrow. Narrow means that machines can do few things but very well, and are most still controlled by software. They have very small possibility to decide what to do. But in this field, of course, we reach an unbelievable level. You consider all things that we are using that surrounds us are built today by robots, which are part of this first step of artificial intelligence, so mostly automation. See, we cannot compete in terms of manual jobs. The automation today reach a level that is unbelievable. All our cars, objects, your phone, all that surrounds us is built by these machines. And soon you will see even in our houses, small size, they can even be programmed to cook, to make ice cream, to do everything. Artificial wide intelligence. They have a kind of self-learning concept, and that's the field that worries us, because most probably, imagine where we are today after 10 years, these kind of machines can do a lot of jobs. And so where is the point? We don't have to be scared of automation and artificial intelligence. We are, at the end, the one who decides. So we have to decide how to use them in things that can be dangerous, or can, in any case, be not high level. Most we don't know, but it's in labs. But I will show you now the level that we are already, and imagine I will explain the application that we can use for this kind of robotics. This is the most advanced robotics in wide intelligence. It's Boston Dynamics. Now you imagine why still we should lose lives of, for example, firefighters, all jobs securities, guys that lose their lives in very dangerous jobs, whilst we can approach this kind of works with such advanced machines that still don't think, but can really actuate and adapt. You have seen this robot adapts himself to the equilibrium. It's not a software. He has sensors and a lot of technology that allows him to understand how to stand, how to jump, and how to do things that most of humans cannot do. And then we have another important field of wide artificial intelligence, which will soon take space in our homes, which are small size, doing things and topics that still we are doing ourselves, but in the future can do. And of course, this is a small example, but your imagination can even help you to figure a future, what we can get from there.
What if a developer could help teach a nonverbal child how to communicate with loved ones? What if an animator could bridge a habitual child to an ever-evolving community? Stimulation in children and improve learning. What if these people and others from around the world came together on a journey to transform the classroom, combining talents to shape a better path for special education by allowing children to take their learning to the next level, opening up a world of possibilities. help shape the path and become a part of the journey.
Well, now it's a small robot. Wide intelligence means it can recognize faces. It can be programmed by apps. So in the near future, these machines, like the same in the first movie that you have seen, the robot, the big robot, these are home robots. Means you can get from them very, not so advanced, but still actions that depends from experience that the machine is learning through an artificial intelligence that, of course, we can push forward with the technology and our applications. This will be very well helping eldest people in the future that are alone. You imagine many countries that eldest people is alone. So instead to be alone, there is a machine that has capacity to monitor, to interact, to communicate. Basically, this robot is a smartphone, but thousands times more powerful. In fact, it's already in the market, and you can purchase, I think, around $10,000. So it's, in any case, still expensive, but you see the technology improves. And now, to complete artificial intelligence, it's the most scary part, which is the super intelligence. Here, we will see in the next 20 years an impact that we cannot even imagine, boosted by the quantity of data that we can fill and transfer. Superintelligence means that the machine learns every day. And of course, having a connection can access all the data. You can ask them everything and they will reply because they are connected. Google and all the informations. Plus, they recognize people. They start to understand how to reply to a question according to the experience that they have. They are basically aware where they are. And the most advanced machine that currently we have in the planet is done by Hanson Robotics. I think you will know her because she's Sophia.
Hello everyone. It's been a really exciting year for me and for all of us at Hanson Robotics. As 2018 approaches, I'd like to express my gratitude for development all across the world, especially in the fields of robotics and artificial intelligence. My dream is that these technologies can be used to build a better shared future. I've noticed that people like to exchange goals for the new year, so here are some of mine. First of all, I'd like to improve my Chinese language abilities. You'd think I could just download a language by now, but it's not that simple yet. Secondly, I want to keep traveling and meeting people, as it's important for me to grow up with a broad perspective on human life. And of course, I'm looking forward to all of the upgrades that 2018 holds for me. And no, that doesn't include a wig. So please, as we venture together into another year, remember to take care of our planet and each other. I promise to do the same.
See, it's quite scary, huh? But let's take the positive. If today we are at this level, what will happen again within the next 10, 20 years? So artificial intelligence really will impact our life. And the biggest difficulty will be to put limits and to still keep the control. And that's why your next careers will be focused to be aware of what will happen and how to handle it. Of course, now jumping in another topic which is very important, super technology requires also super materials. And we are also in a start of a new age in terms of technology applied to architecture, engineering, and all the fields that require different materials, more modern materials. And you know, it never comes from as a coincidence. This high level of technology is bringing, even in this field, a huge impact. And let's meet now what is graphene.
I've been working with many different materials, but graphene is one of the most exciting materials I've ever come across. In fact, it's probably the material I've been waiting for the whole of my career. Many materials we use just have a single function. They're put into an object just to do a single thing, to either be strong or conduct electricity. But the advantage of graphene is that it can do many things. It can be multifunctional. The best materials for applications such as transport and aerospace are very strong and very light, and graphene has both of these attributes. One of the first applications of new materials is usually in sporting goods, such as, say, Formula One or skis. And already graphene is being used in tennis rackets, and this tennis racket is commercially available. It contains graphene, and it's said to perform better than conventional rackets. Graphene has these multifunctional properties, which means it opens up completely new opportunities that we've not yet thought of using materials in completely different ways. We can probably design structures, we can design components using graphene, which will have the ability to do things we've really never thought of. The multifunctional nature of graphene means that it's going to have limitless applications. We can foresee it being used in aerospace, motor vehicles, wearable clothing, flexible electronics, and many applications in medical and biomedical devices. We have this hub of people who are actually working on this exciting material and finding many new different applications. Graphene was first isolated and characterized in the University of Manchester. This is one of the largest universities in the country. There are now 200 researchers in the university who are looking at graphene and finding new ways of applying it. This large breadth of expertise means that Manchester is leading graphene research worldwide. This is going to be the area where we're going to see big developments in the future. The researchers have raised considerable funds already for their research upon graphene, and that's growing rapidly. And we have £61 million to develop the National Graphene Institute, and this is going to be the home of UK research in graphene in the years to come. It's certainly the material of the future.
You will see how it will impact our life. Our next smartphones and all devices will be done by this material, which is transparent, light, 200 times stronger than steel, wearable, and has characteristics that no other material in the world has. So it will improve a lot all our next years. Now, let's enter in a field which I am sure you will like a lot. Mobility. Of course, you can imagine how the technology is improving in terms of transferring data, artificial intelligence. So, of course, this will be applied in the most important fields that are part of our life. And for sure, moving and using cars is an important part of our life. Now we have already electric cars, and we are honored, by the way, today to host AW Rostamani Group with a showcase of electric cars, the state-of-the-art of the today technology. But you will see that very soon these cars will be driverless. The technology is already there. The only problem is legal. We cannot still leave cars drive alone for a legal issue. But all the governments, all the authorities are working hard, and we expect that within the next 6, 7, 10 years, at least the main roads like highways will be possible to the car self-drive, and I would even suppose we will, humans, not in condition to drive anymore, because we cannot mix human drive with driverless. All the automatic will be more safe than what we can drive. You know how many accidents we have on the road. You know that 1.5 million per year lose their life in accidents over the world. So driverless will give us even more safety on the roads. The state-of-the-art of the today technology, it's this one. And this car has been presented in the last Tokyo show. Its technology allows the cars actually to drive alone. Again, it's only a matter of legal problem that we have to create even new legal frameworks, governments, and the road and transport authorities. Of course, these cars can park alone, can recharge alone, because the future of mobility is indeed electric. So no contamination. We will reduce the carbon footprint. And as you have seen in this part of the movie, the cars become batteries. When you let the car parked, the energy from the battery will feed the grid. So in that time, the electricity can be used for else. And before you take the car, the fast chargers will recharge your car. So all, again, will depend from the cloud, from the connection, and from the capacity of the system to self-connect data. Let's make a step beyond. Let's imagine now to install an artificial intelligence into cars that not only can drive alone, but can become robots, personal assistants. So while we are moving from point A to B, you can use your time doing else, and also you can ask the car to do something for you. This is the final scenario that we imagine in the mobility. So electric, driverless, but also robotic in terms like Sophia. So you have a person that has a shape as a car, and I found this presentation that can show how we imagine within the next 20 years mobility and how the cities will look like, because of course even we have to adapt the cities.
Thank you.
And so you have seen how huge will be the impact of this technology, mixing artificial intelligence, automation, electric mobility, and data transfer in a quantity that still we cannot imagine. So indeed, the next 20 years will be disruptive for any field. And this age, it's the age where you will work, you will build your career. So you have to consider today these factors, because everything will be different. But of course, the choice of an university and the choice of an academic ecosystem has to inspire and open your visions on what will happen and giving your contribution. Because for sure today you understand that many jobs cannot be even considered jobs within few years. So your choices will be directed towards the fields and the choices that still are human. Finally, I conclude our suggestion, how you can really lead your life in something that will be successful. Considering these tips that are very simple, and at the end, it's only one thing. Try to remain human, okay?
Once upon a time, business as usual was often good enough. No more. Where we are going, good enough is dead. In a world where everything is connected, where everything is equally excellent, where performance is reaching perfection, there's only one space left to innovate in: you. Right now, you are a central point in the raging tornado of change fueled by digitization, mobilization, augmentation, disintermediation, automation. Well, the list goes on. Science fiction is becoming science fact. Think about self-driving cars or computers that can learn and think. The way we work will never be the same. The skills we need will be dramatically different. Winning or losing are now happening faster than ever before. So what's your response? How will you discover new opportunities in one of the most transformational times in human history? Are you driving change, or are you being driven by it? Disruption has become the new normal. With change, it's always gradually, then suddenly, well, things really have stopped happening gradually. This change is exponential. Everything that used to be dumb and disconnected is now wired and intelligent. Cars, cities, ports, farms, even our bodies will be wired with sensors and will talk to each other. These game changers are also combinatorial. They amplify each other, creating a perfect storm of change. Quantum computing fuels big data. The Internet of Things fuels artificial intelligence and deep learning, which fuels robotics. However, anything that cannot be digitized or automated will become extremely valuable. Human-only traits such as creativity, imagination, intuition, emotion, and ethics will be even more important in the future, because machines are very good at simulating, but not at being. Yes, robots and software will do some of our work, but this will allow us to focus on things that cannot be automated. To imagine change squared, you've got to start engaging more with what might be, not just with what is. Immerse yourself in the immediate future, 5 to 7 years out from today. We need to go beyond technology and data to reach human insights and wisdom. Technology represents the how of change, but humans represent the why. The future is about holistic business model. The opportunity is to be liquid, to learn just in time, not just in case, not single improvements, but complete transformations, not individual systems, but new ecosystems. Humanity is where true and lasting value is created. We will engage, relate, and buy things because of the experiences they provide, because of their transformative power. The future doesn't just happen. The future gets happened. The new way to work is to embrace technology, but not to become it. The future is in technology, yet the bigger future lies in transcending it. Let's live and lead from here.
So I hope I open your minds to understand this big change. And I wish you good luck. And I also would like to show how you are in a good place, in most probably the best place of Dubai, to think about your future. Thank you. Now I would like to announce very, very special guests. We have the honor to have AW Rostamani Group here. They are the first in the region to provide electric cars upon very innovative formulas, and later you can even have a look at these cars that are really the future. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. My name is Alan D'Souza. I'm the National Sales and Marketing Manager with Shift Car Rentals. As David mentioned, Shift is the only company in the region to have the electric car. I won't take much of your time. I know David has explained a lot of mobility as well as the future. Well, right now we are not into that with Shift, but we are getting there. I'll just go through a couple of points. We'll be talking about the Rostamani Group and Shift. I'll be talking about the accolades we've got for our service, and then I'll hand over the mic to my colleague, George, who will be taking us through the Renault Zoe presentation. The Rostamani Group is a well-established group which needs no explanation. We've been around for over 50 years, and we employ over 3,500 staff. We have multiple facets of our business, ranging from, everyone knows, I think it's Nissan, Infiniti, and Renault. Real estate, then we are into travel, we are into lifestyle, and not to mention we're also into the car rental. That's where we are. I'll give you a snapshot on the day in the life of AWR. If you have a look at it, it's quite humongous how we operate. We have 200 customers who buy cars from us, from our various locations per day. We have 800 families who stay in our ever-growing real estate apartments. We have over 5,500 lease customers who drive our cars, and 15,000 users use our website and growing. There's another 1,800 people who come with their cars to service at our locations, and 1,600 calls are managed by a call center. Like every organization, our base is our core values, which we have it instilled in our DNA. And we make sure, right from the guys who are cleaning our cars, right up the general managers and directors, live and breathe our core values each day. So these are our core values. We talk about I can, with passion I can, integrity, commitment, adding value, and never being satisfied. Just a background on Shift. This year, in fact, will mark 10 years for us to be in this region. We have over 7,500 cars. We have been growing for 24% year on year. How we bench ourselves is with the industry. So each and every year we benchmark and say, okay, we have grown such amount of percentage, and that's what we benchmark ourselves. So we've been at 24% and constant. In terms of business, we have locations in 9 locations and 2 standalone. We are operating all over the UAE. And with 176 employees, we manage 700 corporate customers and 1,070 odd individuals. We have been the only car rental company to get the DQAP, that's the Dubai Quality Appreciation Program, and the Sheikh Khalifa Excellence Award for exemplary service. There are companies which have either one or the other, but we are the only one which have managed to win both. And finally, what we all here for is the only car rental company to get the all-electric. The next thing will be on the USPs. Why shift? I mean, there are around at least 50 or 70 odd car rental companies in the UAE, multinationals, international franchisees, local franchisees. And this is what a snapshot is. Why shift? To shift. That's the award-winning service, part of a big group, financially sound. Our processes are robust, maintained fleet at the dealerships. Technology. We use technology at every given touch point with our customers. We want to make sure the experience at a customer level is exemplary. And that's what we want to do. And we have won accolades for that. And finally, we'll go to the extra mile to make sure our customers are happy. This is just a snapshot of our top customers. If you see, it's quite a big, huge list, starting with Emirates, Airline, and Culligan, and Kone, all that. These are the awards. I'll just go through. That's the Sheikh Khalifa Excellence Award. Then this is the Dubai Quality Appreciation Program. This is the award, which is, again, the first one launched by the Road and Transport Award. That's the Dubai Award for Sustainable Transport. In fact, we had won this award even prior to us getting the electric cars. This shows the commitment we had for the environment. We got this award basically more to show how digital we've gone into our processes. Rather than paper, we are going more digital. And this has been recognized by the government of Dubai. Finally, as everyone knows, this is the Palladium Hall of Fame. We have won this award by a couple of years back. That's for the balanced scorecard. Now, having summarized all this in a few minutes, one can realize that a company like Shift is 10 years in the industry and growing, and we make sure we are here for the next 50 years. Yeah? So with that, I would like to call upon George, who will go through the presentation on the Renault Zoe. I know it's a very interesting car which we have organized to park to outside, and George is here to explain the features, dynamics, and make sure you guys are evergreen to try it out if you guys have a license. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, good morning, bonjour. I feel very happy today to be present among the youth and the future of the world. And as the presentation that David has given to all of you and the way he connected all of you, so we are just trying to be a part of it by showing you what exactly AW Rustamani and Shift have put together on the UAE roads today. As you all know, the future of vehicles is going to be electric, connected, and autonomous. Soon, we'll have cars which don't require a driver or so, but currently we have cars which are electric, which need not use any more petrol to run on the roads. So just to go ahead with this presentation, I just want to give you some electric vehicle facts. The EV vehicles or electric vehicles were put on the UAE roads in 2015. You all might have not seen a lot of those, but we have more than 100 electric vehicles currently running on the UAE roads. Renault is the leader for electric vehicles in France, and 61% of the EVs in France are currently Renault vehicles. This is the Renault range of EV vehicles. The vehicles that you see here is a Renault Twizy, which is a 2-seater vehicle. Then we have the Renault Zoe, which is a 5-seater vehicle, and the Renault Kangoo, which is a commercial vehicle which carries goods. And all these 3 vehicles are electric and not using any more of the conventional fuel. To talk to you a little bit about the Renault Twizy, the Renault Twizy was launched globally in 2011. This is an ultra-compact electric vehicle which can be used to take 2 passengers around. The top speed of this vehicle is 80 kilometers per hour, and once fully charged, this car can run for 80 kilometers. So this is a car which is being used in many of the shopping malls. Large universities like Amity can have these vehicles on their campus. So this is the utility of this. And again, this vehicle also has been converted into a smallly commercial purpose where it can seat 1 passenger and it can carry goods at the back. So that's the Renault Twizy. The second electric vehicle that we promote in the UAE is the Renault Kangoo. The Renault Kangoo is a commercial vehicle. It can carry about 650 kgs of load. And the charging time for this vehicle is to charge this car once completely, it will require 6 to 9 hours. And once charged, it can run from 80 to 100 kilometers. The main car, or the car that is interesting most of the folks, is the Renault Zoe. The beauty of the Renault Zoe is it's a 5-seater car which can run up to 300 kilometers once fully charged. This is the newest generation of the Zoe. Till about last year, we were promoting a Zoe which could do only 100 kilometers once fully charged. So you can imagine taking your car but not reaching Abu Dhabi. But now the Zoe can do 300 kilometers once fully charged. The Renault Zoe requires about 2.5 hours to fully charged. And once fully charged, it can run 300 kilometers. The top speed is also 120 kilometers per hour. This is a little more information on how the vehicle will charge. You know, the vehicle has a battery. How does electric vehicles work? Electric vehicles have a battery in it. So, and the battery has various powers or wattages. For example, a Renault Zoe currently has a 41 kilowatt battery. So how does the charging speed of the vehicle work? For example, it depends on the charger. For example, if you use a 3.5 kilowatt charger, it will require 12 hours to charge. If you use a 7.4 kilowatt charger, it will require 5 hours. Now the current chargers which has been installed by Deva everywhere, which are the 22 kilowatt chargers, using that kilowatt charger, you can charge your Zoe in 2.5 hours. There is another factor that comes into the speed and the range. The range also depends upon the speed at what you're going to drive your car. For example, if you drive your car at 120 kilometers per hour, the whole drive, the car will go up to 200 kilometers. If you drive to 100 kilometers, it will go up to 270 kilometers. If you drive at the speed of 90 kilometers, it will go up to 280 kilometers. So it is a combination of the speed at what the car is being driven is directly proportional to the number of kilometers that the car will go. So at a normal urban speed of 60 kilometers per hour, the car will run up to 320 kilometers on a full charge. Now to tell you what is the advantage of using an electric vehicle over an internal combustion engine. The advantages are 2. One is the cost of running, and the second is the cost of service. The cost of running an electric vehicle is 75% cheaper than using your normal petrol engine cars. For example, if anybody is driving a Sunny or a Symbol or a 1.6 liter car, you will use 75% more money on running that car. Now I'll come to the calculations, but I'll show you. Now, for example, this is a simple calculation. You know, your electricity is calculated in kilowatts. The current cost per kilowatt of electricity is 29 fils. The Zoe battery, the battery inside your Zoe is 41 kilowatts. So to charge your 41 kilowatt battery, it will require 11.89 dirhams. And the number of kilometers that your Zoe can run in 1 kilowatt is 7.8 kilometers. So in other words, your 41 kilowatt battery will run 320 kilometers at the minimal cost of 12 dirhams. Now let's compare this with the running of your petrol or internal combustion engine. For example, a normal 1.6 liter vehicle, 1 liter of fuel, that is a 1 liter of petrol that you use today, is 2 dirhams in comparison to a 1 kilowatt of electricity, which is 0.29 fills. A full tank of a vehicle is 50 liters. So to fill your full tank of vehicle, to fill a full tank of fuel in your car, you require 100 dirhams. So in this 100 dirhams, your car will run 600 kilometers. So in other words, to run, so you saw that 12 dirhams, you run 320 kilometers. Here to run, for example, exactly 300 kilometers, you would require 50 dirhams. So in other words, you are saving 38 dirhams per 300 kilometers by using an electric vehicle. So what are you doing? You are saving the carbon emission and you are saving money of your parents. Right or wrong? I'm so happy you all love my joke. So the first point was about the charging, and now the second point is about the servicing. As I was telling you, to service a Zoe for 100,000, thank you, calm down please. To service a Zoe for 100,000 kilometers, you will require 2,600 dirhams. And in the same way, to service a normal car, you will require 4,550 dirhams. So again, the cost of servicing cars is cut by half. So that was what we were saying, 50% savings on servicing and 75% savings on the charging of the vehicle. But this will not impress a lot. What is the reason why automobile manufacturers are moving from normal petrol combustion engines to electric engines? We are all talking about the environment here. So how is it going to save the environment? Please look at this small calculation here. 1 liter of fuel or 1 liter of petrol that you use currently has 750 grams. And petrol consists of 87% of carbon and 652 grams of carbon per liter of petrol. To burn your carbon or to burn your petrol, you require 1,740 grams of oxygen. So in other words, you are releasing 2,392 grams of carbon dioxide into the environment. So this is the direct impact. So you are going to, every time you fuel your car, this is the amount of carbon that is being emitted into the environment. And this, in case of an electric vehicle, is completely zero. So now we just do the macroeconomics. So if you look at 100,000 kilometers, an electric vehicle will just use 6,000 dirhams, and 100,000 kilometers on a normal electric combustion engine will require 21,000 dirhams. So guys, it's a huge lot of saving when it comes to the everyday running costs, and it's a huge saving onto the earth in the way of the emission gases that you are going to emit. And as you are all aware, Dubai government has run so many initiatives to make electric vehicles more user-friendly or to promote the use of electric vehicles. As you know, currently till 2019, there will be no charge on charging your electric vehicle. So it is completely free to charge your electric vehicles. One, there is free parking spots for your electric vehicles. Currently, the registration fee and the SALIC tag fee of your electric vehicles are completely free. So this is how, and also the biggest point being Dubai government has announced that by 2020, all the vehicles running on the government fleet, 10% of those vehicles will be electric. And as you correctly saw, the future is going to be electric, connected, and autonomous. That is the reason why in the last 5 years, almost all the automobile manufacturers have started to moving to electric vehicle manufacturing. In a few years, as David was saying, in the next 5 years, you can be very sure that almost all manufacturers will have electric vehicles running on these roads. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you, students, for being a great audience. I hope that you found the presentations very enlightening and you learned something new today. Thank you. Okay. Now, the next plan of action is that we have a box, some refreshments for you outside. Yes. Thank you. We have the refreshment break, 10-minute refreshment break, and then we will take you to our, then we will take you to our labs, aerospace lab, where you will see a, where you will see a exhibition on waste energy management and electric cars. So please, one by one, we will leave the auditorium, collect our refreshment, have the refreshment, and then go for the exhibition. Thank you so much.